Hey, Battle Built, here with another video. Your boy's back. It's almost been like a 2-week break for me at this point. We're gonna get into some Kanto Cup battles. I got a little spice action for you, saw that right in the title. We're running what I think is the best fighter in some Kanto Cup Go Battle League battles, and I think it's pretty spicy. We got Shadow Hitmonchan in the lead today, taking on the Alola Marowaks, the Double Charmers, all the things that counter it, and we have some successful battles ahead of us. I did these battles, I mean, obviously when Kanto Cup started and whatnot, and I just did as many as my phone can save, so it's like a collection of 8 battles here, some wins, some losses, you know, we play it out. We had some good situations, some bad ones, some pretty cool matches, just some entertaining ones, and like the title says, Shadow Hitmonchan does kind of go to work against some teams you wouldn't expect it to. Now, before we jump into these battles, I do want to, I guess, apologize for the hiatus, because I've been getting a lot of support, and I was getting so much support over the past month or so before I took 2 weeks off, but couple things just kind of piled up on top of each other. I don't want to bore you guys with the details. Just know everything on my end is fine. I'm happy to be back. I'm gonna try to grind out a couple more Kanto Cup videos. I know like Kanto Cup's pretty much over at this point, and season 7 is on the horizon. Your boy's excited for that too. I won't talk too much about that now, because we have some really entertaining Shadow Hitmonchan battles that we're gonna get into here. So before we get into it, please don't forget, as always, a like, comment, subscribe is extremely appreciated. But let's just jump into these battles, because, you know, Shadow Hitmonchan went to work in these sets of battles. So let's get into the first one. We got Shadow Hitmonchan on Alola Marowak lead. You know, not a great lead. Alola Marowak is resisting all of our counters, so we save swap, and you might notice something interesting here. My Alola Muck is not running Snarl, so the logic on this team comp was like, Shadow Hitmonchan gonna be weak to Charm and Fairies, so let's run 2 things that do pretty well against Fairies. And Snarl, Alola Muck doesn't do as well against Fairies as I would prefer. I really enjoy this fast move pressure I'm able to apply there, and at least I leave with shield advantage, even though I was not able to flip switch there, because I switched the Charmer into my Alola Muck, which is pretty crazy. But now I can come with a Alola Marowak, keep shield advantage, and fire spin this all the way down. I don't worry about any of the moves coming from the Clefable, and I'm just going to build up a ton of energy here, and either their last Pokemon better be a hard counter for my Alola Marowak, or they might just be running what you expect. Double Charm, maybe. Actually, I don't remember. These battles were from a couple days ago, so I could be wrong. It could just be one Charmer. But they do come back in with a Alola Marowak, and I'm like, okay, so that means whatever they have in the back does not want to see my Alola Marowak, and I have an abundance of energy. Let's throw a Shadow Bone, and now we have complete a 2 shield and no shield advantage. They're getting to a charge move here. I'm fully expecting a Bone Club, but that would take me out, so I need to protect my Marowak just a bit here in case, again, they swap into the Charmer that I'm fully expecting to be in the back. I'm going to go for the Shadow Bone here. I don't remember if I swapped out immediately after. I did. Oh, no, this wasn't Double Charm. This was flipping, not even flipping switch, but just the fact, I mean, Alola Marowak is kind of hard carried here, because Alola Marowak hard counters the heck out of Alolan Sandslash here, and then obviously Hitmonchan does, so they were forced to bring in their Marowak against my Marowak, which lines up Hitmonchan with the Alolan Sandslash, and we just slaughtered it, because it's taking double super effective from all that counter damage. Marowak comes in, and with that Thunder Punch, is Hitmonchan a ghost counter confirmed? Maybe, maybe not. Let me know. Alola Marowak did a majority of that work. But how have y'all been? How have you been enjoying the Kanto Cup battles? I know they're unweighted, so that's why I wanted to try and bring you some unique spice. I could have gone super crazy. On my Twitch stream I have, so I highly recommend you check me out there. I've even been streaming a bit less for the past like 2 weeks, just because, again, my real life job has been just a bit burdensome, so it's been hard to manage the time and the energy to want to get into putting out videos and whatnot, and there was some other stuff, but regardless, like I said, I don't want to get too much into it. I hope everybody else is doing well. Brighter horizons are ahead for me, so I'm excited to just get you as much content as I can, and let me know what you want to see from me. Do you want to see more Kanto Cup videos? I know, like I said, by the time this video comes out, what's today? Thursday, so Kanto Cup's over in like 2 or 3 days. So we could talk season 7 stuff. I have no problem going over the update. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten a move update on it, but we did get some like interesting things about some new cups and whatnot. So if you want a video on that, I have no problem sharing my thoughts and whatnot. I'm actually really excited for season 7. But again, if you want to hear my thoughts, I'll make a video on it. Let me not spoil anything, because then it defeats the entire purpose of the video. So getting back into this match here, we had a positive lead. I forget what happens exactly. I have the Alola Muck on their Lapras here, which isn't necessarily ideal, or was it ideal? I don't even remember. No, it was ideal because whatever they swapped in after I won lead. Yeah. I actually play up my food here. I come in with Shadow Hitmonchan to make them feel like they have a little bit of hope here. So I won lead, and I don't remember what their other Pokemon was, but Alolan Muck took care of it so well that I was able to take care of the Lapras afterwards. And then I just was like, you know, I'm recording these battles to be a Shadow Hitmonchan feature, so let's see what Shadow Hitmonchan can do here before Alolan Marowak just completely cleans this thing up. Yes, I technically could be a little bit worried about the drill runs, but the B-drill is going to need to land 3 of them, or not really land 3 of them, land 2 of them, but throw 3 charge moves. One of those moves is going to need to be a bait, so I'm like, you know what, let's just call the bait here. Of course, I go big move, but that's just a smart play on their part, and I'm still really not worried about it because they can get to a move here. They didn't get to a move here. Shadow Bone's going to be plenty to take out the B-drill, and we win this match comfortably after winning lead. Pretty straightforward battle there. What have you been testing out in your Kanto Cup battles? Because it's unweighted, have you gone full spice? You know, at the end of the day, I really enjoy winning in general. I don't need an elo there to make me enjoy winning. So I'll go spice, get a little annoyed at some of my losses, and be like, I'm going to go with something I'm comfortable with. And I actually really like this team in general. So what I would really hope Niantic would do is like bring this back in a future season, but make it weighted. Like, this is such a great meta, such a great format. Yeah, you'll see your double charms from time to time, but it's not like that excessive or that toxic. So overall, I just really enjoy Kanto Cup. I also make a mistake here. No, wait, did I make a mistake here? No, because I didn't win lead. I think I swapped Marowak and they matched with a Mew. What was kind of... But I do make a mistake here, though, because I knew this was a Flame Charge, and a Flame Charge, even boosted, was not going to take out my remaining health. I would have gotten the Shadow Bone off also, but I ended up clicking the Bone Club ahead of time, so the Bone Club is going through. I get the shields, but I didn't need to use a shield, and that shield is going to be very... important as we get into the end game of this match. So I come with a Alolan Muck just because I know the Shadow Claws and any charge move coming from Mew is going to hurt a lot, especially because it's boosted, so at least Alolan Muck resists it. And I'm just hoping these flame charges don't start to add up, but they're getting me concerned. I really want to Poison Jab down, but I'm like, I also really want to save this shield, so I chicken out of the Poison Jab down. I go for the Dark Pulse here, and again, like I said, not sitting in a great situation. They come in with a Blastoise. Oh yeah, they had a Venusaur though. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm like remembering the match as I'm commentating the match, because again, these matches were from a few days ago. They came in with a Blastoise. I throw a Thunder Punch, which is huge that they didn't catch and swap. And again, I have this shield for Hitmonchan, so they're gonna go for a charge move here. It's gonna be a Frenzy Plant. I shall shield it and not die, because one Frenzy Plant would probably wipe out Hitmonchan at full health. The thing is super classy. But I love having the elemental punches for this specific reason here. Land an Ice Punch here, take out the Venusaur, and then have the accessibility of a Thunder Punch to threaten the Blastoise. Just unfortunately, I get Water Gun down, and if I would have saved that shield earlier, I could have shielded this Hydro Cannon right here. Poison Jab down the Blastoise with the cool shades. It's throwing a little shade at me as it takes me out, and I unfortunately do lose this match. But again, because of a misplay, because I'm 99% certain even a boosted Flame Charge would have just like been barely survived by my Alolan Marowak there. Alright, getting to this next one. Beautiful lead with Hitmonchan on Alolan Graveler. It's a rock type, taking super effective damage. I safe swap to Alolan Muck, even with Poison Jab. Alolan Muck does win this matchup, whereas Alolan Marowak does well against Hypno, but sometimes if a Hypno has Shadow Ball, which a lot of Hypnos are just running the elemental punches, like, well, we're seeing a Thunder Punch here, but if it's running Shadow Ball, I can win the matchup and then lose shield advantage, and running Shadow Hitmonchan, having a shield advantage is just way too crucial. So they decide not to shield there, so I'm like, all right, you want to get risky? I'm going to get risky. I'm not going to shield here. I mean, it's not too risky. It's Thunder Punch, and I still resist these confusions because Dark double resists Psychic, and Poison only takes single super effective damage. So wasn't too worried about it. And I keep Switch, and I keep Shields, which is huge, and I have a Dark Pulse ready for the Alolan Graveler that comes back in. So even though it's going to be able to farm me, this Dark Pulse is going to do a chunk or grab a shield, does about half the damage. They're going to Volt Switch me down, but they only get one Volt Switch, so also, and part of me not shielding there was to give that Alolan Graveler less farm when it comes in. They come in with an Alolan Marowak, I come in with my Alolan Marowak, and now we have a bit of a bait game. If I play this terribly and like get double baited, I could be in a situation where I'd lose this match. I get single baited there, which is not fantastic. But I'm like, you know what? They landed the bait there. Me going for a bait is pretty obvious. So I just decided to go for the Shadow Bone. And they decide not to shield. So it works out beautifully at this point. All I need now is Bone Clubs to take this out. Honestly, I don't even mind letting Marowak go down and countering down the opponent's Alolan Marowak. I get a shield there on that Bone Club. So they're definitely upset that I didn't bait them because they still wanted to try to win out this matchup. And yeah, at this point, because Marowak's health is so low, I decided to let this go through. And then they bait me again, and I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. This is perfect situation. Graveler will come in. I can throw a Bone Club. It'll be double super effective. And even though Bone Club is such a trash move, a little bit Graveler has no choice but to shield it here. And they don't, because they know they're going to lose anyway. So they decide not to shield it. Again, like I said, my memory's body, I apologize. But yes, what else is going on in Pokemon Go to be chatting about? I'm excited for the current state of the game. I feel like I've already kind of covered my bases on all the things I could talk to you guys about and catch you up on. But what's been like your most successful Spice Pokemon? Because in Kanto Cup, because we know that the Kanto Cup does really well. Like the meta is like the Hypno, Lapras, Alolan Muck, Alolan Marowak. Those are some fairly meta picks there. They sneak a counter through here, which is unfortunate. But if you've been like testing a Spice and still really like pulling off a bunch of dubs, if so, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear about it. Them sneaking that counter through allowed that Machamp to just barely survive, and I lose the one shield here, which is unfortunate. But I don't think the Machamp has enough energy for a Rock Slide, so your boy actually calls a bait, which is huge. And then they come in with a Hypno, and I'm like, what is your last Pokemon here? If you're coming in with a Hypno, well, I have a bit of an energy advantage. This is definitely not a negative situation to be in with Alolan Marowak, so I'm just going to go straight Shadow Bone here. This will either take it out, well, not take it out, get it super low, or get the shield and the defense debuff, which is huge. And I forget where my logic was here. Okay, I decided not to shield. I really have no idea what my logic was there. I guess maybe because they really just wanted my shield and my health was low, so going for the Shadow Ball wasn't worth the potential energy. But I played it beautifully because Marowak just barely survived. I have shield advantage, and the Shadow Ball will definitely take out the remaining health because of that defense debuff. And then they had their last Pokemon here, which is Beedrill. And if I didn't have a shield advantage, or maybe I had energy advantage, I'd be quite worried about it. But we are not worried about it in this matchup. And you already know your boy is probably still going to get baited. So I make this. Oh, no. I call it, actually. Yes, that was their win condition, baiting me, because I had Poison Jab and not Snarl. This is not as like straightforward and as easy as you would think, because it takes a minute and I need to get to these charge moves because Poison Jabs aren't exactly adding up since the Beedrill resists them. So they get to another charge move here. It's going to be another Drill Run, but since there's no stab on it, I shall barely survive. Yeah, so they would have like, oh no, I don't even survive. I'm doing a great job commentating these battles. Doing fantastic. Battle Bill says this, opposite happens. Says that, opposite happens. But we had a little Marowak in the back with a little bit of health, and we were able to fire spin down. So getting off that Dark Pulse and whatnot was huge. Okay, Shadow Hitmonchan on Alolan Ninetales. I stayed in that matchup for a minute just because of the fact that it could have had Powder Snow, and that wouldn't have been as terrible of a matchup, whereas Charm, I'm just getting straight slaughtered. So then I save swapped once I figured out it was Charm. And we're going to go for a Dark Pulse here. My opponent decides not to shield, which is huge. They might have thought I was running Snarl here, which, because I'm not, I'm applying a lot more quick move damage. So after landing a Dark Pulse, I can actually fast move them down. I do have to use a shield, but they're not going to get the 2 Dragon Claws, so I'm feeling pretty good. I fully expect that Ninetales to come in, and I should be able to get to... Should I be able to get to a Sludge Wave? We're going to find out. Oh no, they come with Alolan Marowak, which is even better, because I can get to a Dark Pulse, and I'm going to threaten the shield regardless. Unfortunately, Hitmonchan doesn't have great play against any Pokemon on this team. So once this Alolan Marowak takes me out, you can see I even tried to click the swap. My switch timer wasn't up. I really didn't want to get farmed down, but Hitmonchan is just going to kind of become a meat shield here. They decide to swap, which is a huge misplay on their part, just because I have a hard counter for their Ninetales here in the form of Alolan Marowak, and it's going to give me farm and I'll let Marowak kind of clutch this, even though they could have done well in the matchup with their Marowak on my Hitmonchan. But yeah, we just commit to a complete farm down. And then what do? I think I bait here just because I was worried about their energy. And I'm like, I don't know if I'll get to 2 Shadow Bones because of their energy. And I figured I get baited there since my health was so low. So I'm like, my win con here is baiting a Bone Club and then landing the Shadow Bone. And that is exactly what's going to happen. We get the shield there, going for a Shadow Bone. This will not take out the remaining health. It will get it really low. Hopefully they can take out my Alolan Marowak with their Alolan Marowak, so I can bring in my Hitmonchan and say Hitmonchan is an Alolan Marowak counter confirmed, because obviously the proof is in the pudding. Clearly I have video proof there. So I decide to swap because I'm obnoxious and I do it for the content, and I click on the Thunder Punch to take out the Alolan Marowak. Completely unnecessary. I mean, I guess my Marowak's health was low where I technically would have gotten farmed, so like that was also just a heads up smart play. But yeah, clear proof in the Battle Bill channel. Shadow Hitmonchan, Alolan Marowak counter confirmed. Alright, I don't know how many matches we've gone through at this point, but I was having a lot of fun with Shadow Hitmonchan. I played quite a bit of sets with it. I just don't have a lot of iPhone storage. I should have not been a cheap person, and I should have bought the iPhone, when I got my iPhone with like maximum storage, I went with like 64 gigs. But at that time, I didn't know I was going to become a content creator. I didn't realize how important my storage was going to be. But, you know, like hindsight's 2020. So when you go and get your new phone, make sure you get that maximum storage on it. You just never know when you're going to become a content creator. You just never know. But here, another matchup where I'm happy I have Poison Jab on my Alola Muck, because I pull it as a safe swap into the Alola Marowak lead. And even though I don't flip switch here, I'm able to get both shields and apply a bunch of damage with the Poison Jab. So, Alola Muck with Poison Jab, pretty solid in Kanto Cup battles. Snarl, I think, is great in the majority of situations, but I feel like in a meta like this, Poison Jab you could definitely thrive with also. It came in really clutch. And I'm assuming their last Pokemon was a Charmer because of the fact that they decided to bring in their Alola Marowak and try to catch my energy, and then they swapped into a Charmer. So they're running Alola Marowak double Charm, and we're feeling pretty good here. We go for double Shadow Bones. This next one will not take out their second Charmer, their Clefable. It will get it really low. I think I swap into Hitmonchan to be obnoxious. Do I? I did not. I fire spun down. I should have been, but I really didn't want to take any charm damage. And then they decide to quit, and Shadow Hitmonchan obviously carried that match. 2 shield flexing, Shadow Hitmonchan countering double charm. I'm obnoxious. I know. I apologize. Throw the hate in the comment section below. I deserve it with the clickbait. Shadow Hitmonchan clearly carried there. I mean, if you saw a different match, yell at me in the comment section. I totally saw Shadow Hitmonchan carry, but, you know, apples and oranges, apples and oranges. Anyhow, I decide to safe swap Alola Muck here against another Alola Marowak lead. I was like thinking, wait, did I say Alola Muck, Alola Marowak? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Your boy's rusty. It's been 2 weeks. He's trying to get back in his commentating flow. It's not the easiest thing to do. And they decide to stay in, and I'm like, oh no, nobody's done this before. And they recognize I have Poison Jab, which means they resist my quick moves, and also it takes me quite a while to get to these Dark Pulses. Thankfully, I was able to get to 2 of them, or at least they allowed me to get to 2 of them before throwing another Bone Club, because I really didn't want to use another shield. But because of that, they're going to farm me down. So even though I have shield advantage, did not get Switch, I'm not sitting in the best spot, because my only answer for Alola Marowak is my own Alola Marowak. And I really don't want to get baited here, but I also really don't want Shadow Bone to land. So thankfully I call Shadow Bone there, but they're loaded on energy. So you know what's about to come through? Another Shadow Bone. Thankfully I didn't get debuffed. The logic there, since they had so much energy, should have been to no shield the first move no matter what. But then again, they probably just try and go double Bone Club. So maybe not, because there you see I'm able to over farm. So I let the first Shadow Bone go through, then they just need Bone Clubs to chip me away, which means that I can't over farm as much because you get the 2 Bone Clubs quicker. Anyhow, apples and oranges. This is why they decided not to swap, because they have probably double charm in the back. And Shadow Hitmonchan is not going to be able to carry against this double charm team. Oh no, even worse. Even worse. They have a Hypno. Actually, yeah, it does get worse. Oh, like Wigglytuff at least is taking neutral damage from all the counters from Shadow Hitmonchan. And I think that is the final match. I quit it out with like barely any time left on it. But yeah, last one I got a little slaughtered there. We can't say Shadow Hitmonchan is a Hypno counter confirmed, unfortunately, but maybe another content creator has that battle where their Hitmonchan beats a Hypno. Either way, overall, I mean, these were my own battles, but I really enjoyed doing these battles. It feels great to be back. It feels great to be commentating again. Let me know how you thought I did. I'm kind of curious if you guys ever have critiques on my commentating. I know I speak too fast, so outside of that critique, if you think there's like other ways I could potentially improve, like if you want to state it in a constructive way and not be rude like some other YouTube comments, it'd be greatly appreciated. But I'm always open for constructive criticism. But on that note, that is a set of, not even a set, that's like 8 battles with Shadow Hitmonchan, where I had a majority of success, and then like I said, I did multiple sets with it, so I had even more success with it in the other sets, and overall I just really enjoyed running it. It's glassy, but it's spammy. It's got elemental punches, so it's got good coverage, and then the counters are applying a lot of heavy damage, and you saw it really go off in some of these situations. And I think Alola Muck with Poison Jab and Alola Marowak cover it very well, just because of its whole like psychic and charm weakness. So overall, I think this is a solid team comp in general, on top of shady Hitmonchan being a bit spice. Unless you disagree with me. Do you think Shadow Hitmonchan is not spice? I think it's kind of spice. I haven't seen a single Shadow Hitmonchan that I battled against. So I'm going to go with my own sample size and consider it spice. Anyhow, I'm making this outro way too long. And on that note, thank you all for being here. Thank you for sticking through. Whenever I like ramble on at the end, I like to be like, yo, YouTube comment squad, who made it all the way to the end of this video? Let me know. Just be like, yo, made it to the end. gonna get like I'm gonna get like 1 comment, and I'm gonna be like, damn, nobody watches my videos. Anyhow, I'm overdoing this now. I'm happy to be back, honestly, as you can clearly tell. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. As always, the support is extremely appreciated. I will see you all in the next video, and I will try my best to get you this content back to my consistent or pace as I was doing earlier. Have a great rest of your night, I guess, and just I hope the rest of your week goes well. Good luck with the rest of your Kanto battles, and I'm excited for Season 7. Take care, everybody. I'm really okay, now that I'm back, work on these outros. I'll see you all in the next video.